Hey, what's going on, peeps? My name is MrRhexx and we are back with some more Dragon Age. On the last episode, well, we spent the entire episode going through Ostagar, talking to pretty much everyone. It was so much, in fact, that I had to split it in 2 episodes, if you guys noticed. I might have to actually do that for this one as well. Yeah, we talked to the Chantry, we talked to the mages, Alistair. We did some dunking in there. There was a lot, man. The Ash Warrior. I like that story. But, there was a lot to do in the last episode, and now we're finally going to enter the Korcari Wilds. So, what are we up to right now? So, we have to find 3 vials of blood, of darkspawn blood, and we have to find the Grey Warden treaties. That's our mission, and that's supposed to be the ritual, or I guess the joining, right, that we're supposed to do in order to actually become Grey Wardens, which should be a hoot. Anyways, let's see what this guy has to say.
Hail. I'm told you all have business in the wilds. The gate's open for you. Just be careful out there. Even a Grey Warden won't be safe in the forest tonight.
And there it is. So, guys, the very first time that we're here, the Korcari Wilds. Welcome to the fabled swamps of Ferelden, where witches and shamans and darkspawn and wolves reside. Actually, we will be encountering some wolves here real soon, but I think more interestingly, though, this is going to be the first time we're actually going to encounter those darkspawn that we've been talking all about. Anyways, wolves. If you guys remember, I mentioned before that who the Alamari are. The Alamari are supposed to be the people that lived in Ferelden way before the Imperium and before Ferelden kind of became its own country. The people that used to live in this land used to be called the Alamari, and the Alamari used to venerate wolves, which I think is kind of interesting. They thought of wolves as to be almost as important as humans. In fact, it was kind of the same kind of relationship that the Grey Wardens had with the... Jesus, what do you call those guys? No, and I forgot the actual name of the beast, the Gryphons. I kind of blanked out in there, Jesus. Right at the beginning of the episode. It's not very nice. Yeah, so whenever a great warrior would show itself in the tribes, they would give him like a wolf as a companion, and the wolves had like as much significance as like a great warrior. So whenever a wolf would die, they would have like a super funeral pile and all of that good stuff. Anyways, we have a missionary Jory here. Let's see what we can find on him. We have a letter which will give you a codex. It's pretty nice. It gives us a quest, the missionary. Let's go ahead and click on that. You found a corpse near the entrance to the Korcari Wilds. A letter on the corpse detailed a path through the wilds that should lead to a place where the deceased is meant to meet his father. And then we're supposed to consult. You can see it down there, what the codex says. Pretty cool. So apparently there's a missionary out there trying to convert the chasing into the teachings of the Maker, and this is supposed to be his son trying to find him, and they were supposed to meet at a very specific place, and I guess the codex tells us exactly how to get there. But before that, seems like we got a dying soldier here.
Who is that? Grey Wardens?
Well, he's not half as dead as he looks, is he?
My scouting band was attacked by darkspawn. They came out of the ground. Please help me. I've got to return to camp.
Well, we can most certainly help him. Let's try to bandage him up, at least.
I have bandages in my pack.
Thank you. I've got to get out of here.
Did you hear? An entire patrol of seasoned men killed by darkspawn.
Calm down, Sir Jory. We'll be fine if we're careful.
Those soldiers were careful, and they were still overwhelmed. How many darkspawn can the 4 of us slay? A dozen? 100? There's an entire army in these forests.
There are darkspawn about, but we're in no danger of walking into the bulk of the horde.
How do you know? I'm not a coward, but this is foolish and reckless. We should go back.
Overcoming these dangers is part of our test.
That's true.
Know this. All Grey Wardens can sense darkspawn. Whatever their cunning, I guarantee they won't take us by surprise. That's why I'm here.
You see, Sir Knight, we might die, but we'll be warned about it first.
That is reassuring.
That doesn't mean I'm here to make this easy, however. So let's get a move on.
As you can see, we're presented with one of the powers of the Grey Wardens, the ability to sense darkspawn. Very, very interesting. Apparently this joining may be more than what it shows. But we'll get to that. It'll be very interesting to become one of those guys. Evil.
Does the word insane mean anything to you? Remind me not to get injured anywhere near you.
But anyways, yeah, there's the missionary that was trying to transform all the chasing around this part into, well, teaching them the word of the maker, which I think is kind of cool. We're gonna have to see if we can find the guy. It's gotta be somewhere here. The codex does kind of tells us of a bunch of landmarks that we're gonna have to follow in order to find this meeting place, and if we do find it, we're gonna encounter a chest, which should be very nice. I'm gonna evade those for a while because I want to do this little section first. We're gonna still battle some darkspawn, so don't worry, I'm not stalling. There's darkspawn here. Anyways, guys, as you can see, we got some genlocks or genlocks. I don't know how you pronounce those. Then we have the hurlocks, the main two variations of darkspawn. As we mentioned before, we saw a genlock on the last episode, dead in camp. I at least got to show you that one, which was kind of cool. But the Horlock is the first Horlock that you get to see. Let's see if I can... There we go, you see it? Man, this guy is creepy. It's like a skull, just kind of... I don't know what it is, man. But I guess you can see it. Okay, so you are dying, Jory, so let me just go ahead and heal you. It's kind of nice to prepare like this. Always put the potions in the quick bar so you can use it quickly. You don't have to go to the palace menu as much as another person would. Let's go ahead and give him 2 of these because it feels like I'm not running out of them. Should probably start using some abilities here. Dirty fighting. You're gonna heal. We got shield pummel, which stuns people. Might be better to use it on this guy. This is probably the strongest one there is. There we go. As I said before, if you're not in the mood of pausing the game a lot, but you still want to play Dragon Age, you can always play the game on easy. I'm currently playing on normal. But if you're not into that kind of thing, stopping and deciding things, you can always just play on easy. You don't have to. The matches are a lot easier. You don't have to. It's kind of meant for you to be able to play without having to stop, which is kind of nice. Should I heal him? Nah, I think we're fine. So, death. When a character dies, he doesn't die permanently. All it means is that after the end of the battle, he's gonna resurrect. You do have to be close to him for him to resurrect. That's fine. It's not a big deal, as you can see. He probably won't resurrect, even if I just chill here for a while. No, I have to get close to him for him to do that. Let's see. There it is. So yep, you have to be close for him to resurrect, but it's nice. They will resurrect at the end of every battle, so it's not a big deal. The thing that happens, however, is that they get a what they call a wound. So this one is an open wound, penalty to nature resistance. There are many kinds of wounds that you can get. Things like less attack, less defense, less damage, a penalty to your health, a penalty to your stamina, and all kinds of things that can really happen. Oh, we got a darkspawn blood. We gotta get 2 more of those, which I don't think it's gonna be a problem. But yeah, wounds are not really that big of a deal unless they are. It really depends. Like if you get a defense reducing wound in a tank, it can be kind of a pain in the ass. Yeah, things like that, I suppose. But in general, they don't. I wouldn't really worry too much about it. You can actually heal them. Sadly, I don't happen to have anything that can heal one of those, so we're gonna have to stick with it for a while. Anyways, this chest gives you the mud idol, which is it's pretty lame. Wouldn't really worry too much about it. Small flawed, wow, I don't know how to speak. Flawed spirit crystal. This is not for any of the characters that we currently possess. This is an equipment item for a very special character from a DLC, no less. We'll get him later, so you don't have to worry too much about it. Rigby's field journal. By collecting this, you get this on the map. See those chase and trail signs. The codex tells you that there is a secret stash of items, and if we follow all the marks, then we might be able to get it. I said this first in the first episode. I'll say it now. If you press tab, you can see every item in your vicinity. It's really useful. I honestly suggest, if anything, just like spamming it a lot. Just as you walk through the world, just click the button. It allows you to see things that you wouldn't see. It's very useful, yeah, especially if you don't know where things are, and more especially for secrets. I guess I will show you where there's, you know, anything important, but whatever. Dragon Age. Dragon Age. This section of the game is really good for characters like rogues that enjoy stealth, because you can get you can happen to catch a lot of these guys by surprise. It's a very nice place because you'll find a lot of traps around. You'll find a lot of setups where you're gonna have like a mage in the back, archers in the back, and then warriors in the front. You know, like that kind of strategy, and being stealth and attacking the rangers like that just by kind of sneaking through the entire bulk of the army. It's very useful. Sadly, as I said before, I'm kind of avoiding... Oh, there is an injury kit. We use that to treat the wounds, which is kind of nice. For now, I'm gonna call them injuries, because that's how the game calls them. But whatever. We can actually use it to cure Alistair if we want to, so I want to show you how it works. There we go. Lesser injury kit. Heals the injuries. Pretty good. Yeah, as I said before, these episodes are taking way too long. Like yesterday's, I just wanted them to take 20 minutes, and I had to split it in two just so that I could do that. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but, you know. So I'm trying to avoid things that would take more time, like being stealth all the time, or... I don't know. There's a lot of conversations that I'm going to have as outros instead of actually having it on the video, as you saw on yesterday's episode. But anyways, we're going to fight this guys from behind. There's really no reason to do it the way I did it. You can fight them from the front. There's really... I don't think there are any traps down there, but we're going to encounter some traps later. I should probably allow Alistair to come first. I'm being kind of silly. I'm being very silly, actually. Me and David, the rogues, are, like, coming in first, which is ridiculous. Just gonna stun this guy. But yeah, these guys are not really that big of a deal. I did mention that I was going to be playing on normal. I do want to say, however, that there are going to be some times during the game where I might choose to play the game on easy. And the reason for that is that I would rather, to be perfectly honest with you guys, I would rather have a smooth experience through the game, because I'm playing this to show you guys the game. I want to show you every secret in the game, I want to show you the story, and I want to have a nice kind of cinematic feel to the game. And there are going to be a lot of times when I feel like if the game is too hard, then it might slow us down a bit. And if that happens, then I might put it back down to easy, just so that we can have a smoother experience. I don't know if I would let you guys know, because I don't think it's necessary. Just know that, you know, it's not always going to be on normal, just like it might sometimes be in hard or even harder difficulties. Like, it really will depend, and I'll make that decision based on the area. Anyways, we got a wildflower. Now, this is the part where I say, I kind of forgot to do this back on the last episode, and I gave you guys a little annotation for that. You see, this is how you get bark spawn if you're anyone other than the noble origin. Since I'm a noble, I get bark spawn on my origin story. On the first episode, you guys saw that I got the dog. Normally, you wouldn't do that. You would get the dog at around this point in time in your game if you're not a noble. And to do that, you have to do this.
That flower, white with a red center. The kennel master at Ostagar was asking about those.
Why did you want them? Do you know?
The kennel master said this flower can help dogs that get sick from biting darkspawn. At any rate, he was offering a reward if someone went into the wilds and brought him one. Might want to think about it is all.
Sounds very interesting. If you were to talk to the kennel master back when we were at camp, then he would tell you, if he would ask you to look for a flower for him, and he would give you that quest so that you could save the dog. Since we're a noble, instead he just goes like, he just expresses his discomfort at the fact that dogs are kind of dying, and he doesn't really give you any quest, which is kind of sad. But you can still get the flower, and you can still return it.
That just seems so excessive.
Oh, because of... Oh, the logs, yeah. Oh, this. Yeah, but if you pick up the flower, you can go back to the kennel master, and you can tell him that you found the flower, and he'll give you money and experience for the quest anyways, even if he didn't give it to you, which is kind of nice. But we already have the dog, so we don't have to worry too much about it. Don't worry, it's cool. Anyways, we're gonna fight in this scan logs over here real quickly. As you can see, it's really not that difficult. Our party's pretty well equipped. I actually haven't leveled, which is kind of interesting. I'm gonna level as soon as I finish this other level, so I can do 2 levels at once. Again, finding ways to decrease the time it takes for me to do these episodes. Let's go ahead and finish this guy. And there we go. Last one. Fantastic! Just gonna loot this. Health poultices. And more. Dude, I could use all of them. You can actually make your own poultices. I mentioned it before with herbalism. as well as poisons, but we're actually gonna get a character later on that is pretty good at creating potions, so I don't want to invest any points in my actual characters here for alchemy. I'm gonna wait until I get that character so that I can do it with her. But for now, let's see, what do I want to do? I should probably, you know what, I'm gonna go another route. I want to go there just in a bit, because I feel like, and you know what, I guess I'm already here, might as well just do it. This place is kind of a maze. It's it's pretty big, and you can kind of find yourself going around in circles if you're not careful. And you'll find quests at really every corner of this whole map section. So I was trying to find a way in which I could do everything in just one big swoop, but I don't think I'll be able to. So I might have to do some backtracking here and there, but that's okay. I'm gonna turn this into a 2-episode thing, so I don't think it's gonna be that big of an issue anymore. And that's the last one. So as you can see, the Genlocks were actually fighting the wolves, which I think is kind of cool. They're not actually allied yet, although later on we're going to encounter wolves that are going to be infected with the blight, called blight wolves, and those are the best. They look so scary. Anyways, look who we found here. Missionary Rigby. This was the father of the other corpse we found at the very beginning of the section. Very interesting, and with him he's going to have Rigby's Last Will and Testament, which will give you a quest. Last Will and Testament. The quest says, you found the last will and testament of someone named Rigby on a body in the Korcari Wilds. And then we have to find the stash mentioned in the will and take it to Jeddah in Red Cliff. So, this quest is very interesting because from the get-go it's going to give you an option. We're going to go and find the stash. And we're going to have the choice of either giving the stash completely to the girl, to the wife, or we can just keep it for ourselves. That's going to be the choice. And the thing is, usually in this game, and this is one thing that I find really, really interesting about Dragon Age in general, is that usually games tend to balance it out, like whether you choose to be good or whether you choose to be evil. They tend to balance out the rewards so that you get more or less the same rewards whether you're good or evil. In this game, it's not the case. Sometimes being evil is the only way to win, and sometimes being good is the only way to win. It really depends on the quest, and it depends on your choices, and it's, you know, everything varies. It's not that black and white. It's whatever. I feel like it's more real that way. Sometimes quests are just not going to give you experience or gold unless you force it out of them. And I honestly do find that cool, and this is one of those. You rummage around in the rubble and find Rigby's secret stash. Inside it is a lockbox sealed with wax. So, this is the option that we get. We can take it and bring it to Jeddah. Which we're going to have to do manually, actually. It's not going to do it automatically. Or open the lockbox and keep the contents. What you get is this. It's not really that big of a deal. Honestly, it's something, because if you just get the lockbox and give it to Jeddah, you don't actually get anything. You won't get a reward, you won't get gold, you won't get shit. all you're going to get is sadness from Jeddah, expressing her, well, sadness for her husband being dead and stuff, and her son, so it's, you don't get anything. But we're going to play the good guys anyways, since that's just kind of like the style that we chose from the very beginning. So we're gonna just choose to give it to her and fuck the reward, I guess, or the gold that we would get from selling the relic. So that's cool. We grab that. Okay, cool. So let's move along. As you can see, there's gonna be a lot of us just kind of going in circles here, which is, it's alright. It's not too bad. But I might end the episode here real quick. I'm not sure how much I want to do. Just a couple of, we might actually fight another group of darkspawn, and we can call it a day for now. Ooh. And there it is! You're gonna hear it. That's one good reason why you want to be a Grey Warden if you're gonna be fighting some darkspawn. Darkspawn kind of appear out of nowhere. They have this really good affinity for, I guess, maybe guerrilla tactics, I guess. If you talk to some of the soldiers in this part of the game, they'll tell you that they just kind of appeared out of nowhere, and Genlocks tend to do that. They just kind of appear from the ground. It's kind of creepy to think about it, but you have to be a Grey Warden because Grey Wardens can sense it, and they know when there's an ambush nearby, which is kind of cool. But you know what? I might actually leave this for the next episode. The next episode might be a little longer than this, probably 30 minutes or so. There's still a fair amount to cover. We gotta finish, well, the 2 quests, and there's an extra secret one that we might get. So that's gonna be great. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you tomorrow.